So welcome everybody to this latest video on 162 Maths, and in this video we'll be going over the AQA GCSE Maths paper of June 2017, Foundation Paper 1, which is a non-calculator paper. Now I will include a link to the paper for you to have an attempt at before watching this video and going through the answers, and I'll also include the grade boundaries so you can see what grade you would have attained on this individual paper once you've tallied up your score. So let's get cracking on this June 2017 Foundation Paper 1. Looking at question 1, it says how many minutes are there in 3.5? So all we need to do is 60 minutes plus 60, 60, 30, all of those or amount. And for question 2, it says work out a quarter plus 0.5. Remember that a quarter is 0.5 plus 0.5 gives us a. Then says which of these shapes has the most sides. So in terms of recognizing these, has got 6, has got 8, a rhombus has got 4, a trapezium has got 4. Moving on to question 4, it says solve 3 minus x equals 0. So what take away 3 0? That's going to be. Question 5, it says work out 58 times 73. It's entirely up to you which method you use to do this, as long as there's some working out. Worth 3. And to go for the grid method, so 2 0 100. All I've got to do is add them all. And what should you have as your correct? 4 2. Moving on to question. There's 500 people were asked if they drink coffee. 9/10 said yes. 20% of the people who said yes at least 3 cups drink at least 3 cups each day. Complete the frequency. So here, what we need to work out first. So let me zoom out a little bit. And this is what we do. So first of all, let's work out what 9/10 of 500. 9/10 of 500 is 500 divided by 10, which is 50 times 9. That means then this. Next thing I then do, it says that 20% of people who said yes drink at least 3 cups. So I then need to work out what 20% of 400. %10 of 45, 20%. This is going to be 60. Moving on to question 6b, it says what fraction of 500 drink at least 3 cups of coffee each day? Write your answer in its simplest form. That's going to be 90 over 500. Just need to simplify that fraction. Question 7, it says by rounding each number to the nearest 10, estimate your answer to 61 times 47 over 102. 60, rounding these numbers to the nearest 10, 60 times 50 over 100, 300 over 100. Then looking at question 8, it says that Nadia has £5 by pencils and rulers. Pencils cost 8p each and rulers cost 30p each. It says I'll buy 15 pencils. I'll then buy as many rulers as possible, and with the change buy more. How many pencils, how many rulers? Well, let's work out first how many 15 rulers cost. 15 rulers, 15 times 8, £1. So then from this we need to see how much change does she. £5 minus £1.20 is £3.80. We then need to see, well, how many 30p go into £3.80 divided by 0.3, or you could do divided by 30, 38 divided by 3, and that comes up as an answer of around about 12. Looking at buying around about, so the price of 12 rulers comes up to 12 times 30 pence, £3.60. So then if I add up these two amounts, so then I've got 20, 80. So how many more pencils can I buy? Well, I buy a 20p change. From that 20p change, so then going back to the original question of how many of each can you buy? Well, you can 15 rulers, sorry, 15 pencils. 15 plus 2, 17, and 12 rulers. Looking at question 9, it says work out, and then we just need to do some division. So we've got 25 point divided by 12. Convert that into a bus stop. 25, 8. Doing some division. How many 12s going to 2? No. How many 12s going to 5? That's going to 2, 1. How many 12s going to 6? 4. And how many 12s? Question 10, it says work out 3/8 of 11. Give your answers a number. This is going to be 33 over 8. What's that as a mixed number? Moving on to question 11, it says the triangle has a perimeter of 32 centimeters. Square has a perimeter of 40 centimeters. Two shapes are put together to make a pentagon. Question's asking work out the perimeter of. So looking at these two shapes, let's have a look at the square first. The perimeter is 40, so each side is going to be 40 divided by 4. Now I then know that this triangle here is going to have a base of 10, and that this side plus this side plus the 10 needs to add up to 32. 32 take away 2, divide that by 2 equals. That means these two. Then working at the perimeter of the pentagon, it's going to be this plus this plus this. Here the perimeter, and then highlight. Perimeter equals 11 plus 11. And looking at question 12, it says that a football team has P points, and the formula to calculate the number of points is equals W BW plus D. The team has won 6 wins and 2 draws. How many points do they have? 6 times 3 plus 2, 18 plus. Then says after 33 games, a different team has 53 points. They draw 11 games, and it's asking how many games did they lose. So from this, substituting values in the formula, we want to work out how many games they won. So how many did. So from this, we use the formula, so we've got W plus 11, because there's 11 draws, equals. So from this, what we then got, BW equals, and it's 42. So W equals. Now the question is not asking how many games did they win, it's how many games did they lose. They played a total of 33 games. The total equals 31, 14. We drew 11, 33. Answer that. Looking at question 13, it says make the following calculations correct by adding a plus minus time bracket. Now for this, there's loads of different answers you could have, and again, all I'm going to go for is suggested answers. my initial thought is to add those two numbers to make 3, take away the 7. 0, what you want to do is just multiply one of them, making the number 0. If I everything goes 4, and for the last one, plus 0, which is 2, the power of 4 is 16. 2 times 8. And there's several different answers you could have, but that's different. Question 14, it says that a number is picked at random from the first 4 prime numbers. A number is picked at random from the first 4 square numbers. The 2 numbers are added to get score. We need to complete the table. So here we've got 1 squared, 2 squared, 3 squared. 4 squared is 16. Here in terms of our first 4 prime numbers, we've got 2, 3. Next prime number is 5. All we then need to do is simply completing our table. Put our next question then says, what is the probability the score is prime? We just need to highlight all the prime numbers. So we've got 3, so all in all, we've got 6, 16, 4 out of 8. For question 15, it says that in a school show, the ratio of girls to boys is 1 to 1. The girls who sing and girls who do not sing is 1 to 2. 8 girls sing in the show. How many students are in the show together? So for this, what we want to do here is we know that 8 of the girls do sing, sorry. So that means if 1 part equals 8, 2 parts is going to be. So total number of girls is going to be 8 to 16, which gives us a total number of girls as being 8 plus 16. Now we know that the total number of boys is the same. We've got the same number of boys as girls. Here we've got 24. So how many are in the show altogether? Well, add those 2 numbers up. Then working with the next question, so looking at question 16, it says points P and Q are points on a line. Complete the coordinates of P and Q. So for this, what we need to do for P is when x equals 0, what do we get? Well, that disappears and left 2y equals 6. Then with the next one, we get when y equals, that disappears, 3x equals. That question then says to draw the line on the grid. All I need to do is plot those 2 coordinates. So 0, 3 here, 2, 0. With a ruler, all I then need. Try and do, make sure you do extend the line. Yours will definitely be. For question 17, it says circle the expression that does not simplify, give you y to the power of 3. This one does. This one does. Take away the powers when dividing. This one will. This one, you take away the powers, and that. Question 18, it says write the number 6,005,000. So if we write that down, 100. I misread the number. It's 6,005,200. I write this number in standard form, so it's 6.0052 times 10. I did write the 2 zeros after the 2, absolutely fine. But looking at question 19a, it says use 8 kilometers equals 5 miles per hour. Well, 5 kilometers per hour equals 5 miles per hour, rather, for 96 kilometers per hour. So for this, what we need to do is do 96 divided by 8 first to see how many 8s go into that. And that gives me an answer. With that, we have 96. how many 8s go into X9? 2, so 12. Then I need to then multiply it by 5, so 12 times 5. For question 19b, it says x kilometers per hour equals y miles per hour. Use 8 kilometers per hour equals 5 miles per hour to write formula of y. So for this, what we need to do is convert the ratios into which I've got x is to need to cross multiply 5x, 8y. We then want to make y the subject, so I take the 8 over to y equals 5x. Then with question 20, it says here is a circle touching a square. The area of the square is 64 centimeters squared. Write down the area of the circle. So here, if the area of the square is 64, then the side of the square is going to be the square root of 64, which is 8. That's 8. The area of a circle is pi r squared. So here the diameter is 8, so therefore the radius is going to be 4. And so then area of the circle times squared, 4 squared, 16, so the answer is 60. Moving on to question 21, it says that Billy wants to buy these tickets for a show. We've got 4 adult tickets, cost £15 each, 2 child tickets, £10. 10% booking fee is added to the ticket price. Percent is then added to the for paying on a credit card. Work out the total charge of these tickets with a credit card. So here at adult ticket, so 4 adult tickets costs 4 times 50, 60. And what you then want to do is add 10% to that. So 10% of 60 is 6. Total of 2 child tickets equals 2 times 10, which is 20. Then you want to add 10% to that, so that's £2, so that comes to 20. So the total price is going to be 66 plus £22. Then we need to add 3%. So from this, 1% of £88 is going to be 88. Then 3%, 88, 0.88 gives us 2.4. So then adding these two amounts together, get a total of £90. And looking at question 22, it says density equals mass over volume. The mass of solid A is 6 times the mass of solid B. Volume of A is 3 times volume of B. It says complete the sentence. Here we're multiplying the top by 6, bottom by 3, 6 divided by 3. And for question 22b, it says average speed, and it says if the distance is halved, so that's 0.5, and the time is doubled, that's what we want to out. So what this then becomes is half divided by 2, convert that as a fraction, and then we get a half times 1 over 2, which is a quarter. What's the same as multiplying by a quarter? Then with question 23, it says a regular polygon has an exterior angle of 20 degrees. Work out the number of sides. Here the formula you need to use is the number of sides equals 360 divided by 1 exterior angle. The 360 divided by 20 is then simplified to be 36 divided by 2. Question 24. We basically want to rewrite this ratio so that the second number is 1. What we need to do is divide a half by 2/3. Again, what we need to do here is flip the second fraction, turn it to a multiply. That becomes 3 over 4. Looking at question 25, it says the table shows information about times for 10 people, 8. These statements are about the mean and range of the actual times. Tick the correct box of the statement. So for this, the first one is false, the second, third, fourth, and fifth are true. Then with question 26, write 36 as a product of its prime. So start with 36. Think of two numbers that multiply together give you 36. It doesn't really matter which two numbers you go for, as long as you multiply. But ultimately, you should have the same answer, same number circled. Now, write this in index form. Get 2 times 2 times 3 times 2 squared times. Fine, it says circle the value of cos 90, and the value of cos 90 is 0. Moving on to our last question, which is looking at simultaneous equations. So for this, what you want to do is have the same number of x's or the same number of y's. Now in this question, we've got the same number of y's, so I'm going to simply take them away, or add them together. So I've got 3x equals 4, x equals 8, and using x minus y equals 6, 8 take away y equals 6, 8 minus what gives you 6, that's 2. So then using these two values, I get my answer of x equals 8 and y equals 2. It's the end of this. Now we'll put the grade boundaries in the description below so you can see once you've marked in, added up your scores, what score you would have got